All the votes are in and it's unanimous.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark was voted WNBA Rookie of the Year. Surprise, surprise. Put up the stats that the league had never seen before. She broke the single season record with 337 assists, including a league record 19 in one game.
You got me down again.
Imagine the fierce competitiveness of two rising stars reaching its boiling point as Caitlin Clark is declared the unanimous WNBA Rookie of the Year, causing Angel Reese to throw shade at her victory.
It's a basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight. And a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle.
Fans and analysts are taking sides. Was Clark's unanimous win justified, or does Reese have a point? Let's dive into this explosive rivalry and the tension surrounding it, breaking down how these two elite athletes are pushing the limits of competition and controversy in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year season has been nothing short of groundbreaking. She not only dominated in her debut, but also shattered records along the way. Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to record multiple triple-doubles in a season and set records for most three-pointers made by a rookie, 122, and most assists in a rookie season, 337. Clark also led the league in assists per game with 8.4, a testament to her remarkable court vision and playmaking ability. Her achievements have made her the face of the Indiana Fever's resurgence, helping the team secure its first playoff appearance since 2016. But it wasn't just individual success. Clark's contributions lifted her team to new heights. The Fever saw a spike in home attendance, largely credited to her star power and impact on the court. Fans flocked to see her in action, and her presence revitalized a franchise that had struggled in recent years. On the other side of the rivalry, Angel Reese has been vocal about her discontent with Clark's Rookie of the Year win. Reese, who had her own impressive rookie campaign, was a key part of LSU's national title run in college, but has found the transition to the WNBA more challenging. While Reese has gained attention for her intensity and play style, she hasn't had the same record-breaking season as Clark. Reese has openly expressed frustration, claiming that the media and fans have overly hyped Clark and downplayed her own accomplishments. She even hinted at her discontent in interviews, noting how difficult it's been to adjust to more frequent losses in the WNBA compared to her collegiate career.
For me and Camille, this is the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
What makes this rivalry even more intriguing is the history between the two players. Their clash dates back to the 2023 NCAA Finals, when Reese famously mocked Clark with a "you can't see me" gesture after LSU's victory over Iowa. This moment ignited a media firestorm and further fueled the narrative of Reese versus Clark. As the two entered the WNBA, their rivalry has only intensified. Fans and analysts have been quick to draw comparisons, and the debate over who is the better player continues to rage on. Clark's unanimous Rookie of the Year win has become the latest flashpoint in this ongoing feud. What's clear is that the rivalry between Reese and Clark is doing wonders for the WNBA. It's bringing in new viewers, sparking passionate discussions, and creating a buzz that women's basketball hasn't seen in years. Social media has been ablaze with fans taking sides, and the league is benefiting from the increased attention. While Clark may have secured Rookie of the Year, many believe she also deserved to be in the conversation for MVP. Her value to the Fever is undeniable. She transformed a struggling team into a playoff contender in her very first season. Comparisons to NBA legends like LeBron James and Michael Jordan are not unwarranted, as Clark's ability to lead, score, and create for her teammates is already at an elite level. Clark's 769 points this season shattered the rookie scoring record and even eclipsed her teammate Kelsey Mitchell's franchise record. The Fever's offensive system revolves around Clark's ability to create opportunities, whether it's through her deep shooting or her remarkable passing. Analysts have pointed out that Clark's overall contribution to the league goes beyond just stats. she's becoming a symbol of what the future of the WNBA can be. An exciting, fast-paced game that brings in larger crowds and elevates women's sports to new heights. While Reese may be frustrated, her presence in this rivalry shouldn't be overlooked. As fierce competitors, both Reese and Clark have a unique opportunity to push each other to new levels of greatness. Reese has taken on the role of the challenger, determined to prove that she deserves just as much recognition as Clark. However, some critics have pointed out that Reese's defensive game has its flaws, and her struggles in adapting to the WNBA's pace and level of competition may explain why Clark's unanimous win wasn't much of a surprise to those closely following the league. Despite this, Reese has the talent and drive to bounce back, and fans are eager to see how she'll respond next season. Could this rivalry fuel her to take her game to the next level and potentially challenge Clark for future awards? Beyond the rivalry, Clark and Reese's impact on the WNBA cannot be overstated. The league is experiencing a renaissance thanks to these two young stars, and their battles on the court are drawing in new fans. The attention surrounding them is helping to elevate the entire league, sparking debates about marketing, fairness, and how the WNBA should promote its players. As Clark continues to set records and Reese looks to prove herself, the future of women's basketball looks brighter than ever. This rivalry has the potential to be one of the defining stories in WNBA history, and we're only in the early stages. In the end, Caitlin Clark's unanimous Rookie of the Year win has reignited her rivalry with Angel Reese, but it's also brought attention to the growing influence of both players in the WNBA. Clark's historic rookie season has set a new standard for what's possible, and Reese's competitive fire ensures that this battle is far from over. What's clear is that this isn't just about awards, it's about legacy, growth, and the future of the WNBA.
But Caitlin Clark is a special player.
The fastest player in WNBA history to record 200-plus points and 50-plus assists. The fastest rookie in WNBA history to record 150-plus points, 50-plus rebounds, and 50-plus assists. And the only player not named Cadence Parker to have multiple games with 30-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, and 5-plus assists as a rookie. The one and only Caitlin Clark has taken the league by storm in just her first season.
Gets that one.
Clark trying to get by the Mystics defense at the cup. Boston gets the slip and wrong. Quickly up the floor is Mitchell. Beautiful find from Clark as Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it. Move has Smith running with her. Gets it to her on the move. Beautiful.
And all of that, but she is right there for her in every...
Clark pulls off that screen, knocks it down. Clark.
I mean, how many rookies, even in the NBA, do you know have their opponent breaking out a box and won in just the second quarter?
Roll that shot. 2 points at the free throw line there for the Mystics as Melvin was fouled.
Or it gets doubled like this in the fourth quarter.
Starts up from driving to the store the same way. It's a brand new car. You love it.
Or have opponents forget they still have one more free throw just to guard them.
Got one more, Airy.
I had a great conversation with Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark is generational, not just in the buckets she's been getting, but also in the coverage she's brought to the WNBA. She's like the modern-day Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, or more like Serena Williams. The 2024 WNBA's first overall pick had a record 2.45 million viewers tuning in to watch the WNBA's draft. In contrast, the 2023 WNBA Finals was the most watched in 20 years, and the four-game series only averaged 728,000 viewers on ESPN. She is 1-1, however. Since her emergence, many NBA players and WNBA legends have had contrasting opinions about her. Some have recognized her greatness, while others have belittled her accomplishments. Four-time NBA champion LeBron James, unlike many, didn't shy away from recognizing her star power and what she brings to the league. According to LeBron,
the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. From anyone that's, you know, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, you know, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen.
LeBron's statement isn't far-fetched because the Caitlin Clark effect on the WNBA is obvious already. Since she got drafted, attendance in the WNBA is up 156% from last year, and more than half of all WNBA games this year have been sellouts. There is a 211% increase from last year's WNBA Countdown full season average, as it's currently averaging 741,000 viewers. Not to mention that this year's televised WNBA games are averaging 1.32 million viewers, nearly triple last season's average of 462,000. Anyway, LeBron isn't the only NBA star to recognize her star power. In fact, two-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant was ahead of the curve as he recognized her talents before everyone in the NBA did.
I remember watching her when she was a summer going into the senior year. I was in Chicago for 3 days for the Girls AAU Nationals, and all ages. And I happened to see the 17 on the girls, and she was in the championship. Her team from Iowa, I figure a few of those girls on her team now, but they played together so smooth, but she was always leading that shit. She always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. I was like, who the hell is this? She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country. I was like, oh, damn. I see it now. Like, you know,
right.
Like when you walk in and you don't even know who anybody is, and they just like, yo, that's the best player in the country right there. It's just like, yo, that shit hits you out of nowhere. Like, let me really focus in on her. Then I started following her career, and she stayed at home in Iowa, and last year she was killing too.
The Caitlin Clark KD described back then was the real deal, and the greatness was obvious from the get-go. In her junior season in high school, she had a 60-point game, the second highest single-game point total in Iowa 5-on-5 girls basketball history. In that particular game, she had 13 three-pointers, a record in itself. Interestingly, the way she plays is not all three-pointers, because according to the only other player not named Caitlin Clark to lead Division I in points and assists per game in a single season, she is unguardable, and the way she plays is unbelievable.
But, I mean, it's crazy. Like, 40 and 12, like, people don't understand, like, that's not easy. Like, scoring and then getting everybody involved, like, what she's doing is, no, I mean, if you look at it at the beginning of the game, she was just driving to the basket. She was getting layup after layup. And so at some point, the defender that's guarding her way out on the perimeter because they don't want her to shoot threes is going to sag off and be like, okay, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to let her just keep driving by me. So then she was dribbling with her left, and then she was using her hang dribble just to read if she was going to be able to blow by her defender or not. And she was just doing step backs and side steps and dribbling in the lane, dribbling back out, and then shooting threes. But it started with her getting to the basket and just getting some layups, getting easy ones, getting some and ones to start the game. Like, you could tell that she had a plan on what she was doing.
Caitlin Clark's gameplay in college was so unbelievable that her 41-point triple-double while in college, the first ever in Division I NCAA tournament history, had the legendary Magic Johnson tweeting that she might be better than him, MJ, and Larry Bird. What makes Caitlin's 40-point triple-double so special is the fact that so many players never had one. Not me, Michael Jordan, or Larry Bird, Magic Johnson tweeted. Magic Johnson even went as far as to admit that she has the second greatest basketball career after WNBA legend Diana Taurasi's legendary college career. Caitlin Clark's basketball career has been amazing and is second only to Diana Taurasi's dominant career, where she won 3 national championships at UConn. At Caitlin Clark 22, Magic Johnson tweeted, However, while Magic Johnson strongly believes she is the second greatest, another Hall of Famer believes she is the greatest female college basketball player ever.
But she's phenomenal. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever?
Well,
I don't know about you.
Yeah,
You ever heard of Cheryl Miller,
ever.
Maya Moore?
I said what I said. Ever.
Diana Taurasi?
I said what I said.
No disrespect.
Listen,
Caitlin Clark is amazing.
This is my opinion.
Candace Parker. Nobody's ever shot it like her. No, she's like Steph
said what I
Curry.
said.
Yeah, you're right.
Listen, I ain't disrespecting nobody. It's just my opinion, and I ain't going to change.
Shaquille O'Neal sure can be controversial, but you have to understand that there is some truth to that statement. Caitlin Clark is the all-time leading scorer, man or woman, in Division I college basketball history. She's the only player in Division I history with at least 3,800 points, 1,000 assists, and 950 rebounds. Do you know she's the only player in NCAA Division I history, women's or men's, to lead her conference in scoring and assists 4 straight seasons? The point guard broke the all-time conference record in assists, while leading the nation in both points and assists. She is, in fact, the first NCAA Division I player, man or woman, to make 200 three-pointers in a single season, breaking the record previously held by Steph Curry, and as such, she has earned comparison to the 2022 NBA Finals MVP.
I mean, she is the female Steph Curry because we've just never seen anything like this. She is shooting step back, jump shot, three-pointers from the logo. Never did I think I would see that. And she's making them. Not yet in the WNBA, but she certainly made a bunch at Iowa.
Her playing style and threes have earned her comparison to Steph Curry, with the future Hall of Famer even admitting that they both have the same release time and range.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair.
Their release time, surprisingly, isn't the only thing that makes their gameplay similar.
Listen, we all talk about a quick release. How quick is her release? How about 0.43 seconds? 0.4 of a second, a little over.
Even her floor game. And according to several NBA players, she is in fact the female Steph Curry. Luka Doncic flat out denied any comparison to him, stating that she is more Steph Curry-like.
Amazing. I saw them before. They said 41, almost triple though, yeah. He's shooting like that ball flying. Yeah. I watched a little bit, but then I had to do some shooting. But it was amazing. I watched the first half. But she got to go in the second half, so I didn't watch that.
Does she remind you of you at all? I mean, she's kind of got that. She's got a.
There's more Steph Curry, man. It's a woman, Steph Curry. Okay.
Former NBA champion Jeff Teague also admitted she plays like Steph Curry.
It's elite, bro. Bro, she really looked like Steph Curry. Some of them stuff, I'm like, when she did the behind the back to the leg, I said, I look like Steph.
Yeah. Accepting the double team and then shooting a three anyway is only Steph Curry type shit.
Steph Curry, I said, she's the girl Steph Curry, bro. I ain't want to say it, but it's like, yo, you.
NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith called her the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
This girl is the best in the world on a collegiate women's level. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody better than her. She is a sensational talent. No question about it. She is the Steph Curry of women's basketball. That is what I call her. How many games is this now? That's her 38th career 30-point-plus game as a college basketball player. And, you know, she's done 40-plus several times. She's sensational. She's a marksman extraordinaire. And she's a wonderful, wonderful person, incredibly articulate as well. And I think that what you'll see is the WNBA. You'll see people clamoring for her. Just watch the game, because we love the women's game. I enjoyed it when I was at the WNBA Finals, that championship game between the Aces and the Liberty. I got to tell you something. Caitlin Clark, ultimately in the WNBA, is going to be something special to behold, because she's special now, and she's only getting better.
Shaquille O'Neal also recognized the Steph Curry comparison.
But Caitlin Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. You know, a lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better, Not only was she making a great shot, she was making.
Interestingly, while everyone seems to think she plays like Steph, Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas believes she is better. During the NBA All-Star Weekend, the legendary Detroit Piston guard admitted that she is a better shooter than Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu.
But I'm gonna say this: neither one of them are the greatest shooters, because right now that Caitlin Clark.
You want to bring her in?
That's who I want to see. I want to see her in this competition.
So next, you want to see the three of them next year? If she's in the WNBA.
Bring Caitlin in and let her shoot against both of them. That's who I want to see. Because 22 in Iowa, hey, she the real deal. That's who should be in this competition.
Even the Golden State Warriors guard seems to believe that there is more to her game than the similarity between them.
The cool part is the way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall, floor game. She's racking up, close to triple doubles every night, and like her shooting ability is, it's her superpower, but the rest of her game is as polished as that, and so it's must-see TV.
Unfortunately, these praises and accolades haven't come without pushback, especially from the WNBA. A young rookie shattering records and redefining expectations has seen NBA players praise her and at the same time seen WNBA players being her biggest enemies. 13 games into her WNBA career, and she has had to face this.
And Clark. I mean, that's clear all which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
This.
The defense to come down and collapse leads to open three opportunities.
Clark nudged by Carrington. And Carrington believes there's some acting going on, and Clark has some words for her back. Healthy competition here between two players that have been really just draped all over each other in the two meetings and then tonight's game.
Keep in mind, Dejanay Carrington was an absolute her first ever game of the WNBA, forcing 10 turnovers. Right there.
And even this.
Kicking it out, Evans fakes the three, takes the two, and knocks it down. A lot of contact. 50-50. 50-50.
From her fellow rookie, Angel Reese. Despite the unnecessary shove by Chicago Sky's Kennedy Carter, the guard still took a swipe at Caitlin, questioning what Clark brings to the table besides the ability to shoot three-pointers. And surprisingly, these cheap shots at Caitlin have been going on for years, even before she got drafted into the league. WNBA Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops, the very first player to be signed to the WNBA, wrongfully questioned the legitimacy of her scoring record in college.
I say this, yes, records are made and set to be broken. But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record? I don't know.
You think exactly how I
don't think so, but yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think...
Well, she couldn't be more wrong and ignorant, because Caitlin Clark was in her 4th season, not 5th, when she broke the all-time NCAA women's basketball scoring record, and she did break it in less games than Kesley Plum did. Later in the interview, Swoops also claimed Caitlin was 5 years older than her competition, hence why she was breaking those records.
But let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them. because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have.
But this is also a blatant lie, because Caitlin was just 22 in her final year of college and has been killing it since her first year. As a freshman in college, she averaged 26.6 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game, leading the NCAA Division I in scoring and ranking second in assists and three-pointers per game. Later in the show, Swoops also pointed out that Caitlin Clark takes 40 shots a game, which is also false, because Clark averaged 22.7 shots per game in college, just 3 more shots per game than Swoops averaged as a senior at Texas Tech. It was clear she was just trying her hardest to discredit Caitlin Clark's accomplishments. And surprisingly, this wouldn't be the first time that the 4-time WNBA champion has taken a swipe at a record set by Caitlin Clark. In Caitlin Clark's 3rd year in college, she set the record for the most points scored in the women's NCAA tournament, when she scored 191 points in 6 games, breaking the record set by Swoops in 1993. In response, the 3-time WNBA MVP said, "To me, she broke the record, but she did it in 6 games. I didn't get that 6th game, so I set the record in 5 games. So, to me, yes, she broke the record, but she did it in 6 games." However, Sheryl Swoops isn't the only WNBA great to take a shot or two at Caitlin Clark's college resume. Even 2-time WNBA Finals MVP Breanna Stewart has surprisingly belittled Caitlin Clark's accomplishment, going as far as to claim it's all for nothing so far, since she has no title to her name.
Does Caitlin Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history?
Yeah, she does. I think so. Because then you're gonna look 10 years back and you're gonna see all the records she's broken and the points and stuff like that. But anybody knows, your goal when you play college basketball is to win a national championship. So you need one.
For a while now, it seems more WNBA legends were just trying to stifle the Indiana Fever's attempt to grow, because Diana Taurasi, who is highly regarded as the WNBA's greatest player of all time, also had this to say after her historic college performance.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with...
Sadly, these cheap shots from WNBA legends are not all the rookie has to face. She's had to face unnecessarily hard fouls from veterans in the league looking to send a message.
About Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44-2.
The biggest news right now is her being left out of the Olympic team. A team that has 41-year-old Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner only played 1 game this year and only scored 11 points. In any case, regardless of the WNBA legends and veterans' opinions about her, several NBA players and ex-players have since recognized the unfortunate position Caitlin Clark is in and shown their support. LeBron James, who faced similar animosity when he came into the league, came to her support.
I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. There's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on.
Among NBA players, the loudest to come to her support so far has been Charles Barkley, who called out WNBA players for being petty.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished. Give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
Well, they're going to hate you.
Gilbert Arenas addressed the hate she's been getting since she got into the league, letting everyone know she is a golden goose.
Before there was no loaf, there was crumbs.
Yeah.
Loaves are coming now.
Absolutely.
So
good point.
you can hate the girl all you want, but she's putting money in your pocket, and if you don't understand that, and y'all sitting here trying to hurt her, I can tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Them games she started missing, she gets hurt, and they say, hey, Caitlin's out for the year. I know one thing that's going to happen.
Ticket sales.
Them ticket sales is gone.
Revenue, ticket sales, everything go to.
Jeff Teague on his podcast weighed in on how the hate she's been getting is unnecessary.
Like, they played this all wrong, bro.
Terribly, bro.
They was supposed to gas this shit. This is why people don't watch this shit when y'all leave college. Women's sports, because y'all hating on the best thing that's going to happen to the W for a long time.
Even one of the most respected voices in women's college basketball and the sport as a whole, longtime UConn head coach Gino Arima agrees that she is being unfairly treated by her fellow WNBA players. I don't remember when Jordan came into the NBA, guys looking to go out and beat him up, Arima said. I don't remember when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came in the league and elevated the NBA, them getting targeted and getting beat up just because of who they were and the attention they were getting. Why are you blaming that kid? It's not her fault because you would trade places with her in a minute, but you are not there. You're not her. So you're complaining that she's getting what she's getting, Arima said. Anyway, regardless of what the WNBA and its legends think of Caitlin Clark, she remains a generational talent, and the league will be seeing her for a very long time. And during that time, she will continue to grow more fans among NBA players.
Up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it.
What are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark? Do you think she should have been kept off the Olympic team? Is she getting unfairly targeted, or just simply paying her dues? Let me know in the comments section.